things get like confirmed, and something we've seen so far is that Braum and Kindred have played major roles in some of these games so far. Sivir is also a tier 1, so I need to see if H2K adapt.
So Karma ban actually out from H2K. Azir, Twist of Fate like we've seen in previous games, but they actually respect the power of Evil Karma enough to ban it away. And that does take away from other things like the Braum, like the Kindred, that we could see coming out here. I just want to see where the priorities are in the first pick from H2K once these bans are finished, whether it is actually going towards the Sivir or the Echo or these really high priority picks.
And of course, Alistar's still up and available as well, so H2K have removed Alistar, Azir in all previous games.
Okay.
Adaptation, so Trundle is up, Alistar's up, Sivir is still currently up too.
What this does is Kindred's out of the table, so H2K is looking at a Sivir first pick, and then they're going to trade either Alistar or Braum, who have the most similar roles in fights when it comes to supports. Alistar and Braum both peel tanks, you know, frontline. So whereas previously the Alistar was always banned, and then Braum goes up in value, but obviously now if you lose the Braum in second rotation, I think we'll see Sivir here, and then Braum picked up by, or Alistar picked up by Origen instead.
Very good chance. It just depends where H2K's priorities lie. And whether AOG want to play the Echo as well.
And I wonder if Origen's been hiding the fact that they can play Echo. It would be really bold here.
Yeah.
But H2K, obviously, when they pick Sivir, it's under the assumption that Origen do not play Echo, and now they have another chance to reveal whether, in fact, they do or do not play that champion.
It really feels like Soaz would have picked that up, but if they don't, then yes, that would be a correct assumption by H2K. Going to lock in the Graves, lock in the Alistar. Graves, of course, preference, and then Alistar, also preference between Braum as well, and then Elise in the jungle.
Graves, the slightly better jungle left available. Obviously, if you look at what some of the junglers we have, nearly Kindred Graves are in the tier above. Then Elise and Gragas kind of come in. Unless you're a sickly Lee Sin player, you can put it wherever you want then.
Yeah.
Jankos does have access to that lead, but good first rotation here from Origen. Probably looking for another Echo here on the side of H2K. I don't think it's their picks. It was mostly their gameplay.
I think so too. Because Jankos definitely hasn't turned up. We've had big mismatches in terms of who has turned up in this game and who has not turned up from H2K. So looking towards these next two pickups.
And it will be leaning towards that front line. No confirmations just yet, but Odo's played Echo twice this series already. Will get his hands on it again, and the Braum. So this is another strong rotation and those priority picks that we're seeing.
They're hiding as much as they can. They want the Echo, so they don't want to play the risky game of maybe he plays it, let's lock it in. And then they do like a mirror pick, you know. Support is revealed, let's lock in our support anyways. Vander knows, regardless of what happens, he will be playing Braum this series. There's a little bit of maneuverability for jungle, but it will likely still be that Gragas that was hovered.
All right, Lucian has been played 2 games out of 2 for Sven. He was extremely impactful in the previous game. I think went 10, 1, and 6 on that front line. And obviously with Echo off the table, Origen opted into the Maokai Echo matchup. It was standard lanes, Soaz got a lot of farm, and then he just played super aggressive with the Flash Twisted Advance.
Yeah, Soaz did a good job on his Maokai, and Origen looking to make use of that purple side again, or red side, by getting the counter pick in the mid lane on your last rotation here. Waiting for Ryu to reveal his hand.
I like Soaz on Maokai a lot because we've seen so many games from Soaz where he's on like a carry or even like a Poppy and he'll just split forever, and then at some point he's going to get caught because he just keeps on pushing, but in his head he's like, I'm always going to go for this TP, I'm always going to be this team fighter.
Yeah, we'll find out if H2K overextend and whether they put themselves in a difficult position. Ryu locks down the Lissandra. We did not see it go through in the previous matchup, as Ryu was playing that Corki. Gone unpicked, unbanned this time round. And Jankos, it's the Hobbit. It's the Gragas or it's the Lee Sin. Jankos has a history of being very, very good on Lee Sin.
Like there's good points for every jungle here, but it's annoying to play Gragas into so many tanks, really. You can't really find an opening for Body Slam Flash. Do you then want to kick so you can maybe go for a better flank and kick against Ven?
And the bowling pin kick is very useful when you have so many tanks.
That's true. That did get changed a little bit. Let's see what answer does Power People have into this Lissandra now that Karma's off the board. Lulu is still available. We should have actually picked up on this. This is shame on us for not even mentioning this Lulu pick overall. This is the bread and butter for Origen. This is what makes them strong. This was one of their power picks. You can also play with teleport, and this is would be a Lulu composition would make it so that Sven's the hyper carrier, but it would be a single damage threat. And Origen say, well, maybe that's a little bit too little. too much tanks. Let's get in the Kassadin. That does mean they are very low on wave clear though.
Yeah, very low on wave clear, and I don't know if I would have preferred the Lulu here because like they've been synonymous with like control mages, right?
I think you lose the fights because there will be either an Echo, a Lissandra, or a Lee Sin that will eventually get this Ven, and I don't think you can protect him well enough, and you will lack some damage. I like the late game Kassadin, but it puts you in a weak state early game because you have no wave pressure whatsoever early. Yes, you can put Braum and Lucian mid, but then the Braum shield can destroy these projectiles. So if H2K play their signature style, 1-3 double teleport, yeah, they can wreak some havoc, and they again would force Origen to react with some aggressive fight-oriented TPs.
The last time we saw a team comp somewhat similar to this was Fnatic versus Vitality last week. Slow scaling, low wave clear, and Vitality did not punish the early game weaknesses, and that allowed Fnatic to win. So H2K needs to do two things. Number one, not lose the early game like they've done in the two previous games this series, and see if they can use that wave pressure that their team composition has to punish the scaling on Origen.
I mean, it's inverted in this game, right? Because now they have the Lee Sin, they need to do something in the early game to make him relevant in terms of damage or even scaling. And then on OG's side, they're not looking to get ahead in the early game, they're instead looking to try and ramp up and then make something happen.
Well, we'll find out if they're going to get the time to do that. There's your team compositions on screen. We've seen a lane swap, we've seen standard lanes, and we've seen Origen coming out ahead in the early game twice in a row. Will it be the hat trick as we load up onto the Rift? 1-1 between H2K and Origen.
Just need to see how this early game goes from OG, because they can't be as proactive. I mean, Graves, yes, he can try and duel people, but you're really looking for like Echo to go even with Maokai from OG's side. You want mid lane to farm up and not get shut down.
Bingo on our Origen.
Played that game last week. Congratulations to the fans here. Definitely in favor of Origen. They've got themselves.
I wish they would cheer for H2K though, because it'd be a lot quicker. Give me an H, give me a 2, give me a K, and be done with it.
You could do OG as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same impact though.
Give me an O.
Give me an O, give me a G.
We're done.
We're done, okay.
Alright, looking at the lanes here. These matchups aren't as brutal here. Lucian and Alistar can farm fine on the tower. They still get pushed in by Sivir. No kill potential on either side. I still think Origen would want to swap because you still lose both matchups slightly. So Maokai does lose to Echo pretty decently, and Lucian will be forced to farm in his tower again.
It also limits the impact that Jankos can have. If you go for the lane swap, reduce some of that ganking impact.
Yeah. However, both teams actually have pretty good lane swap. H2K, Forgiven can AoE the wave, Odoamne can AoE the wave. But then Alistar does decent doing that here at Forgiven. Looking to punish Mithi for a face check.
Not gonna happen. If he's gonna find Vanda, and Forgiven's gonna find Sven. So support on support, and ADC on ADC. The ADC's back away, but the support's more bloodthirsty.
But Origen take more damage.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Ven's first to the lane. Look, I imagine he will just instantly Q the wave and start pushing.
Second time. Australia lanes previously, similar setup with Sven getting there first, and very similarly, Forgiven throws out a boomerang blade.
That's a lot of respect here. He doesn't want to get in a position where he force pushes and then gets stuck. Kind of, you know, if you push too much in a lane and they can still challenge you and push you off the way, suddenly you're frozen off and you're in a really bad spot. Instead, they're taking the lane pretty slow here. Going for any too aggressive pushes.
Yeah, so that's the top lane. Let's go back to the bottom lane. Again, we have the Echo and the Maokai in the bottom lane in the one-on-one. As you mentioned, Echo, he's got a good matchup in laning phase, and he got the level 2 punish on Soaz.
Yeah, but look at it. This is the difference. Last game, Soaz got level 2 first. He pushed in Odoamne early, then the wave bounced, and Soaz had a really carefree early laning phase. Right now, he doesn't get level 2 first, and the implication of that's so huge. Look at the trade there that Odoamne put down.
And what does this mean for the rest of the series? Game 2, somewhat confirmed. Origen do not play Echo. Game 3, all but guarantees it. And Ryu will get the assistance of Jankos in this middle lane, while Mithi is tagged off by a Winter's Bite. Sven and Mithi falling very, very low, but the wave is pushing heavily into them.
Yeah, Sivir will always outpush a Lucian if the supports are equal with what they bring to the table in terms of push. And Braum actually has an element of poke here, so pushed in, forced to CS on the tower again. Yui has to flash.
Oof. Respect out there from Power of Evil. I mean, there's no kick just yet from Jankos, but if Ryu gets on top of you and lands Ring of Frost, then you really have to respect the damage from Jankos' Q and combo. So Yeah, instant flash from Power of Evil. Now he has to play even further back in lane, which he was doing anyway, but now he has to sit at this tower. He's going to be just having to concede a lot of this farm. You can see that already. 23 farm to 13.
Yeah, Mithy doing some good things here. There are multiple reasons why you want to take that Q. Obviously, your support, you want to take your AD carry. Also, when you heal, it's 3 times as effective for Alistar to heal himself right now, as opposed to his carry. So you just want to soak damage and then heal yourself if you're Mithy. Need to see if he does the shameful act of putting more than 1 point into heal today. I doubt it.
He's been very vocal about what that means if you're an Alistar player. Just hit level 3, so 1 apiece in each of the abilities. Amazing's already going to do somewhat of an early roam up top. Got a full clear, 4 minutes 10. And a Forgiven and Van to stick around a little bit, but spotted on the ward actually, so no real threat coming down.
Yeah, Triss trading in the bottom lane. To talk about the mechanics of that lane, Maokai, usually he wants to like Q people when they go for a minion, but because Echo has the Q that also slows and from longer range, then Maokai finds it very difficult to step up and not just get punished with the Q coming out and then the phase drive, and then he just gets wrecked. So
yeah,
it's
you want
not
to
very
use,
fun.
You basically want to get a minion advantage and use that to win trades. So right there, Soaz won that trade because Origen could never fight back. Because if he did, he would eat about like 8 minions worth of damage.
Yeah.
That adds up.
But then that stops being relevant after like later levels, only relevant up to like level 4, level 5.
Yep.
Well, so starting to become irrelevant as the timing window goes. Power of Evil first one to back, still down 2 and a bit waves of CS. We'll just teleport back to lane to not lose any more. And has opted for the blasting one first.
Again here, he wants to poke out Lissandra. It's all about casting, getting the edge here. We'll likely see the negative uncloak though on the side of Ryu.
Alright, so Amazing with another roam up top. Stood right on top of a ward. H2K will be aware. Looking at Yankos, he's busy clearing out the Raptor camp, so no counterplay available just yet.
Yeah, and Origen, they did the good thing. They sustained enough without trying to go aggressive on Forgiven, which means if Forgiven got 0 spell shields off, that means Sivir eventually runs out of mana. It's actually counterintuitive, but the best thing to do when Sivir whacks away at you is just never trade back. Because if you give her free mana, she can do that forever. Eventually she runs down, and then she's at risk of getting all linned. And that's the point where now Origen taking somewhat control back of the lane.
Yeah, then at some point she has to go back to base, and then yeah, you stay in lane as long as you're healthy enough, then have him go for those trades.
Yeah, and that gank from Amazing, while it did not result in any damage, it gave pressure and time, and that's exactly what Sven and Mithy needed here to equal out this laning phase.
We did see Yankos go into the top side, just place down the ward, just allow that duo lane to carry on farming, be locked in that 2v2. Mithy's going to get stunned up, and just nice bit of poke from Vanda. But it's difficult to really make anything happen when you're on low items. Neither of the AD carries have popped their biscuits yet, so you can just kind of get a feel for the lane from that.
Yeah, definitely. Even Stevens, 41 CS to 45. Big deficit for Power Eagle, but he now has access to that Rift Walk. Used his teleport back to lane, whereas Ryu is sitting in base. I'll see if he opts into it. Probably not. He'll most likely have
No, he used
that
Ice
tool
Call.
available.
We could see him blink there on the minimap, which means he called back. Means he's walking to the lane. Obviously, H2K, once they hit level 6 and they poke out Mithy, when Mithy is not level 6, they can set up for a dive here.
Now, looking at the team comps and how these lane matchups are played out, you somewhat expect H2K to have the advantage, but I want to see just how much of an advantage they can actually build up, because they're currently ahead 500 gold. Item advantages in almost every lane has already been secured. Like Power Evil, again, an additional back, just to try to stay relevant with Ryu.
There's potential setup as well in the top lane, because there was in that try, but OG, no TPs on either of those mid laners. H2K, however, Odoalne and Ryu both with their TPs, and Mithy and Sven on that level 6, they only just dinged 5, so there's a window here. Yeah,
the combined aggressive ward over the wall in case Origen get the push, TP from behind, and then the pink ward Scuttlecrab makes it so that Amazing can't influence that lane. Yankos now reveals on the bottom side, however, ward time's out.
Support from Ryu as well, so...
Oh yeah, they're making Soas's life in living hell here, but just can't quite, you know.
Glad to see they didn't dive a Maokai.
Yeah, dive that Maokai.
3-on-1, it would have looked maybe a little better than game 2.
Yeah,
It's
but there's no
doable.
TPs this time, so...
The only variable is Amazing, where he is, like, if he revealed topside right now, they would have went for that dive.
Did not, and Mithy's in
Oh,
trouble.
wait.
Actually expected the
Oh,
recall.
no.
Mithy's in trouble. Exhaust has been used. No more mana for Forgiven as Mithy continues to run. Summoner Heal has already been used. Heal and Exhaust just to keep Mithy alive. Right?
Yeah, H2K faked the back there. If he walked up here, we see the main of the trade here, Curling, heal traded. Not too much going on. It's all about who gets to push in base first. You want that advantage, because then the other team is basing later, but you're still going back on the same items, which means you can push first again, get access to the enemy jungle for wards.
And there's the TP from Ryu. Miffy's low. He still
Like
doesn't
two
have
kills.
ultimate. Ultimate goes onto Sven and trying to get both of these. There's the first blood, but Sven's just simply not in range. Vander can't tank anymore. First blood to H2K.
Yeah, really good punish here, and that's what this comes about. You know, punishing with Lissandra teleports. They got advantage in the teleport department by playing the matchup correctly. Early gank from Jankos made it so that Power Ryu had to use teleport. The payoff for that is Ryu TPing top rather, punishing the perma push from H2K. Solid communication, and this is the H2K we're used to seeing.
Yeah, 80 CS to 58 for Ryu. He's got an assist on the board, Abyssal Scepter already completed, and a gigantic minion wave of CS and experience is denied to Sven. So here's a replay of what ended up being quite a simple dive.
I mean, yeah, it's just after they use all their resources. Q flash comes out from Vander. Yeah, so you can Q first, flash after, and it will make it very hard to dodge. So, because it's an instant cast and you're slowed. And then Ryu goes for the optimal choice here, trying to get both kills at once, but Mithy sacrifices himself, steps enough forward.
Indeed, wasn't able to clean up both, but the idea was there, because even if he ults the ADC, I mean, he's ults the support rather, I mean, he's dead anyway. Like, you're just trying to get added value.
Yep.
H2K now pushing up the 3 members, seeing they can maybe take down this pink, but Miffy's there, and also Power of Evil's in the mid lane to maybe react.
Yeah, welcome to meta Ward Wars. You think you're gonna run back to lane with your ultimate and fight people? No. Your job is to get vision in the jungle. So as we're now taking a step outside of the parallel conversions. It's a bit like Under the Dome, Stephen King.
It's true. So as he stepped back in there, and like it's just small things in this laning phase, but you don't want to step back in when you have 2 stacks on you, because it's so easy to phase dive it.
That's exactly what happened. So as he's in trouble, Flash is available. So is phase dive. So is might
He's
go
dead.
down.
I mean, now
Time Winder flashes away. Amazing was buying some time, looking to chase. Ironically, collateral damage would send him away from Odo, and Odo's just going to survive collateral. Not going to be enough, and there's no support from anyone else on the side of Origin.
I mean, that's just a mess up. You can't do that in a 1v1, like especially past that point as well. And now he only just finishes his MR item with the cowl, so you just have to pay more respect. And like, you can't go for a trade like that, have 2 stacks, and then have that popped on Z drive, and then just recall in the bush. Like, that's too obvious.
Yeah, we've seen some bad recalls actually already these playoffs, costing people's lives. How impactful will that be? So as he luckily had the wave pushing towards Odo, so maybe that'll bounce towards him when he comes back down into the lane. And looking elsewhere, Power of Evil under some pressure, but nigh ungankable with Flash and Rift Walk. And then, of course, in the top lane, Mithy and Sven, they just seem to have stalled things out. It's BF Sword Cull versus BF Sword Pickaxe, so small advantage to Forgiven in the trades department and damage departments.
Yeah, perma push here in the mid lane. Lissandra just focusing on minion push and doesn't really want to trade. Abyssal finished that too, so Power Evil is in a rough spot. He is scaling, however. Late game, as we saw in game 1, PoE will have a lot of impact because he's going up against 2 magic damage dealers as a casted in that he can then just mess with, or he can just jump on Forgiven, try and assassinate him. And look at the tower. Jankos is doing a phenomenal job at being at the right place here, because his job is not to gank, it's just to give more pressure so PoE can't access these minions, and then the tower falls, and now the map is open for later to swap Forgiving in the mid lane. 1-3-1 will be so good for H2K in this mid game.
So there was a small window of opportunity where Forgiven and Vander could have been ganked from behind. There was 2 wards in the river that had literally just timed out. So as under pressure from Odo, he's got his TP available, PoE has his TP available.
And yeah, that begs the question, is drafting 3 losing lane matchups too big of a gamble here? Origen getting pushed in top, bottom, and mid in standard lanes. That's why they desperately were looking for that lane swap. They're not getting it, and H2K is putting them on lockdown. If they don't go for any ill-advised dives like they did in the previous games, we may just see the crisp, clean finish that we were looking for in this series from H2K.
This is more like an H2K game right here. It's just like finding these kills here and there if they happen to come to them and they set up these plays, and then they just start taking the towers, and you'll see this point in mid-game where they set up all of these plays, they set up the vision, they'll start moving to people in the right place, and it's the domino play. Now all the dominoes fall over and H2K get this huge advantage.
It helps so much when the draft goes your way as well. That Castellan last pick. Ryu had backed away from the mid lane. Teleport has just become available, and Rod of Age is just completed now for Power of Evil. So some of these items are starting to be picked up. Forgiven and Vander even just going to delay one of those recalls from Sven, just be more of a bother, shove
just-
this wave in, get a lot of damage on this tower.
Yeah, they want the tower down ideally, or just poke it down, and then eventually Ryu's gonna move to the side lane. The only question is when. You saw him down a little bit, half left and right, he goes right now. Attack team.
It's going to jump on Soaz once again in the bottom lane. He won't pick up the kill. And Soaz, he was trying to be a little bit cheeky there. He was trying to get out of the return swing on Q using W because it makes you untargetable. But I don't think he got out of there because it did proc from the passive. Unfortunate. It's just these small things, though. Like, actually getting a little bit of health from each trade from Soaz is really valuable because it staying out of the kill range from Echo, which is really, really high. As soon as that tower goes down, it increases in terms of kill range. You just want to stay out of it because if you're inside it, you have to back off. There's nothing you can do. Your Maokai, you have to wait to spam spells to get health back.
And you have to back off early.
Yeah.
If you don't do it early enough, Echo just runs you down so easily. 15 minutes coming close, still 10, 15 CS up is Odo. Mid lane has grown somewhat up to about 30 CS advantage for Ryu over Power of Evil, but that is to be expected. PoE is about to hit level 11. He's at least got an item stacking. He's starting to get to, starting the scary growth, shall I say.
H2K could move Ryu up here to challenge that tower. Decide not to. They have teleport available here, but yeah, Sven, he can't deal with that. Power spike of the Infinity Edge is there on Forgiven, so this is another tower that's going to fall. And this is exactly how most games with you losing lane matchups play out. You won't give any kills or like raw deaths in 1v1 outplays, but you will lose your tower eventually. And this is almost reminiscent of the style SK played with Forgiven in spring last season, or last year rather.
How long ago that feels.
About a year.
Right, so
Okay.
it takes a lot of damage from Odo as he's shoved backwards, but starting to get tankier. First blue trinket has already been swapped out as well.
Ooh. I wonder if how quick Sven's gonna push out here. Forgiven is actually running bot. This is interesting. So instead of going for the 1v1, they want to first commit to getting that last tower down in the bottom lane. That's their goal right now. We're seeing a reaction from Origen though. It is incredibly hard to get all 3 towers versus 0. So we may see a trade here. Odo running top now. But because Origen don't know what they're up against, they can't get the damage. Because if they had perfect vision, they could easily chunk this top lane tower to half HP. But they're in the dark. So again, the importance of vision highlighted here.
Yeah, H2K also had that warded in the top side. They only just pinked it from Origen, so they get a little bit of chip damage, but there's no minions anymore.
Yeah,
so they have to back away.
They see Forgiven bot, and they're like, oh, well, I guess we can push this tower.
It's too late.
I guess we could have done it the entire time. Oh, Odowan's here. Now double TP is available. Nobody can defend this bottom lane tower, because guess what? 2 teleports are available. Guess what? H2K take another free tower.
OG are taking so long to turn on with their composition, and I'm not sure if they're going to get there in time, because H2K are opening up a bigger and bigger goal lead, and we know H2K know what to do in this situation. They'll carry on pushing the bot lane,
Yeah,
carry on pushing the mid lane, they'll get wards in your jungle.
Push bot, because look at Sven and the mid lane. They need to base, because if they don't defend this bot tier 2, again, 2 teleports come in, 5v3, you can kill that Maokai. H2K, they can decide to keep sieging this, or now rotate into the mid lane, potentially rotate later on to the top lane if they so choose, or pick up this free dragon. The map is their oyster. They can just do whatever they want with it because Origen is getting pushed in every single lane.
And for the current moment, the pearl inside the oyster will potentially be dragon. Yankos and Forgiven actually.
People say that, right? The world is your
Oh
oyster.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right.
Good line.
Yeah.
I was really searching for follow-up, but it didn't.
Yeah, I also went Pearl, and
Yeah.
then they went Pirates of the Caribbean for some reason. I was like, nope, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. Too far.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
step
too
too
far.
far. Don't chase the rabbit. Regardless, H2K will secure their first dragon of the game. 17 minutes in. No challenge or contest. Origen trying to set up some defensive pinks. I can see 3 of them just on the inside sort of bushes of their jungle.
Fantastic eyesight there. I also see 3, just to
making
verify.
sure. Thank you for that.
1, 2.
Double checking is always the best.
Yeah, measure twice, cut once.
That's it. That's it. Thank you, observers. That is exactly what we're trying to highlight.
Kevin Yao.
Kevin Owl is highlighted. In fact, that is now 4 pink wards, gentlemen. Can't tell if that was recently placed or if the observers are just showing that I can't count.
No.
17
Recently
minutes
placed.
in,
Okay.
and H2K, I've got all the outer towers down. Now,
That is in fact the 4th pink what we are talking about.
If another one gets placed down, that's 5.
Visual
Oh,
clarification is definitely there. People said lane subs were boring.
That's 2.
all right, so H2K have broken open the entrance into Origen's jungle. Next step, get deep vision. Next step, teleport. Final step, profit.
Yeah, The problem right now is that you get to the point where you're almost too far ahead in the game. Because it's very hard to get access to a tier 2 tower. So generally what you do is you keep this up for the entire time. And then you have another option in the Baron. Obviously H2K is playing with few tanks. The Braum can tank a little bit, so they need to keep this up for like 7 minutes. And then they can go for Baron, because a 20-minute Baron is too early for them. So we could see, some people call it boring, a stale, calculated mid-game. Where Origen's looking for a way out, and H2K is looking for a way to keep up the pressure with vision. It's a little rough though, because junglers don't always go trackers. At least Jankos is playing trackers right now, which helps Vander supplement the vision. It's one of their strengths, originally, the Vander Jankos duo playing with vision.
Trades in the bottom lane, back and forth, but I don't think there's going to be a kill just yet unless other people get involved.
Well, other people are getting involved, starting to group up. Defense from Origen has arrived. Looks like it's just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and look at the 2 pink wards behind them too from H2K to make sure they don't get teleported on. They don't need to commit. They just want to chip away at these towers. Forgiven. I just want to, I want to talk about that tracker's knife, because I think when Jankos is playing a jungler with more vision, it's better for H2K overall. Because in last game, I think he was playing warrior, and obviously it gives him access to less wards. They yield the blue buff here, but they stay in control here.
Yeah, I think Power of Evil actually picked that one up. Yes, did manage to secure that. So defending their own buffs, but Origen are playing super defensive. They have to just keep buying time. It's 20 minutes in. Locket was completed by Jankos to complement that tracker's knife with warrior. Amazing. He's got himself that Zeal. Cull already been banked for Sven. So itemization slowly starting to creep up.
It's nothing out of the ordinary though. We're not seeing anything really different from these guys. Jankos did go for Aegis.
But now I'm starting to doubt. He had it last game. I'm talking out of my behind. He just wasn't using his vision.
Indeed.
Shame on you.
No, shame on you.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyways, vision right now. They need to use it, but they need to wait. It's so hard for them to find an opening, or they need to find a way to flank and get a teleport down. That's the multi-step process. Get Soas to TP down, PoE's one down, then force a fight somewhere.
Well, this is already a fantastic turnaround for H2K. Standard lanes with a punishing team comp, and they have the 5,000 gold lead that Origen had from game 1. My instinct is that if H2K can clear up some of those communication and calls mistakes that they made from games 1 and 2, they should be able to use this lead more effectively than what we saw Origen demonstrate. Because for Origen, there was a 15-minute slowdown in that Baron pit.
The dynamic of this game is way different from the last two, because OG had those advantages, now H2K has them, and OG playing from behind, I feel like we may see almost a repeat of this first game, where H2K now being from ahead will be able to stall even harder on OG, but they'll be able to push the advantage. And OG aren't going to get to that point where their composition will turn online, and even when it does, you still have this fantastic pick composition from H2K, they have Jankos, they have Ryu, and they have a way to get into fights. If OG make a misstep like this one in the bottom lane,
Oh, kick flash, that's beautiful waiting here from Jankos here. Perfect execution. Push in mid, vision in between, catch Cassid in here. Yeah, really great spell use here. Kick flash, connects Q, and then waits.
Oh, a lot of damage coming down into Amazing as well. That tower falls. Golf claps all around, because that really just was a well-executed play. H2K found the opportunity to take 50% of the HP off the inhibitor turret. They're not done yet. Glacial Path is not followed by Ryu, but the turret is. And they will secure that. Oda maybe stepped a touch too far forward. Forced a chrono break backwards. Not really the end of the world, though.
10 seconds for H2K to get out of any teleport threat here from Power of Evil. And honestly, that was exactly the rotation they were looking for. They catch Power of Evil off guard, trying to desperately defend these minions here. Cognizant of how well played that was from Jankos. Didn't proc the second part of the Q, waited for the ultimate chase. And now that's a big gold swing, and it means you can just push in that bottom lane a little further, which then gives you way better access to flanks on the middle tower, maybe a rotation to the top. So this is has a very large influence on the state of the game here. H2K also just gets so much more gold. 7,000 gold in 22 minutes is massive.
OG looking for the counter push, but this reaffirms basically everything I think about H2K. They play really well from ahead because they're able to get the information, get the vision in the jungle, strangle out their opponents, and find that one play where they can just topple everything over. And now we're starting to see glimpses of that in this game and this series.
Yeah, and that lead of 7k gold, there's 2 lockets to help out any team fights that go awry, and there's a team composition that is fully online already from H2K. There's still room to grow, of course, but Origen are still waiting for that power, to really become available. Power of Evil did just finish that Abyssal Scepter a moment or two ago. Shiv picked up for Sven, Spurred Visage and Sunfire for Soa. So they're getting there, slowly but surely. But it may be a deficit too big to overcome.
And Vander will also just have way larger impact in fights than he did last game. With his Braum available for him, he can block projectiles from the Kassadin Q, amazing damage, and also he can just play tag with some of these champions on Origin, and then one extra CC coming out, locking them down is just enough for these nimble carries like the Sivir and the Echo to really wreak havoc in these fights.
No, amazing. And Miffy just sitting back in their jungle. Like, Origin are doing what they have to do, right? They're sitting in their jungle, they're placing down defense walls, they're trying to find a pick onto Yankos. But as the instant engaged by Forgiven, well, he pops his ultimate so he gets everyone in range to react. And Power of Evil is just stepping down, but he knows there's Lysandra in there.
Yeah, he
So big.
does. Pick away from Yankos onto Miffy, and Tower takes what, 70, 80% of its hit points?
That was scary. Like, Lysandra in a brush when you sweep her looks a lot more scary than she actually
It
is.
really does, yeah. It's like that scene with Samwise when he's like coming up the stairs and it's just like, he's huge, he's big. It's actually Sam with the frying pan. That's not really...
I know what scene you're talking about,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
echo the sentiment. I think you're absolutely right here.
It wasn't good delivery, that was the problem.
Odoamne wants to echo the sentiment that H2K want to pick up a win, and the engage has started. Soas is on the front line, the rest of OG are peeling away. Power of Evil's taken so much damage, he can't chase with a Rift Walk. Time Winder will slow Soas, but not kill him. And H2K take their 6th tower of the game. Easy peasy, pudding and pie, and that lead.
That's the weakness here from running Kassadin. You just have no early game impact. You need to scale, you need to wait for mistakes, especially if you happen to draft losing lanes top and bot too, and H2K pushing their advantage. Really understanding the limits of the fight. No more crazy dives. You guys are behind your tower, guess what? I'll just take the tower instead. Probably had a really angry, rant. Potentially got into some fisticuffs with his teammates. Told them no more dives. We obviously have to listen to Prawley. If you check Yankos' tweet, all he does is banter and praise Prawley.
That is
Simple
the truth.
man.
But it's so difficult from OG because they don't have very good wave clear. Like, Graves has some, Sven has some, but Power of Evil has to walk up to the wave to clear it. We saw what goes wrong when you do that in the bottom lane, and in the mid lane, he can't step up. Like, there's nothing you can do, and you just lose the tower.
Right, we need to see how Origin also adapt, not only in this game, continuing to try stall this out, continue to try defend their last inner turret in the top lane of the inhibitors, but also, what does this mean for the next 2 games? Because Origin will be on red side for game 4, and then swap for game 5. We'll talk about that in a moment or two. Ryu finds himself somewhat caught out of position, flashes after the path, flash from Miffy, teleports coming down from Odo, he cancels it to get some of the cooldown back.
Some interesting ability usage here, or spacing. Miffy not going for the combo, wants to buy time, W so the red buff applies. He doesn't instantly Q, he waits for the flash from Ryu and then he chases, so that was smart. Origin, they're looking to force something here.
Power of Evil, he's flying in, he's flying out. He's going towards Yankos, looking for this pick. Kick knocks him away, and he's no longer in the danger zone.
2 teleports used by Origen. Ryu's now starting to channel his. He's coming in from behind Origen. This could be the fight that
big flank
opens
for
up
Ryu.
the base. Ryu's running in. He's looking for the tomb, and he's locked down amazing. Sends him back to the fountain. Miffy will try to buy as much time as he can. But that cow will be turned into jerky soon. And it's a double kill for Ryu.
Yeah, not so spiffy from Miffy in the end of that fight. 2-0 to H2K.
Yeah, Origin, they try to react to this kind of lockdown that H2K have put upon him by forcing a play. And I think it's the right mentality. You need to try to make something happen because otherwise you will bleed out. You don't have enough time to wait for a throw. H2K a lot more careful this game. But it does give them access to the Baron here. So as he will get locked up, die. They just want to buy time as much as possible.
He's taking so much damage, but he's tanking forever. Power of Evil trying to turn it onto Odoamne. Chrono break, double kill for Forgiven.
Yeah, and these concussive blows are giving so much value even when people leave the fight. If they have that passive on him from the Braum, people can chase, proc the stun, and then get the kill down. Baron looks to be going down here. Very low on the side of H2K though. Locket Shield comes in to help them.
Yeah, it really does. Baron will be secured. It's not the fastest Baron we've ever seen. Sven's trying to really just tickle them with that Ardent Blaze. 12,000 gold lead, 2 dragons, a Baron, 6 towers to 0, 7 kills to 0.
And 100% reason to remember the game. This is exactly the H2K we were expecting, or at least I was, coming into the series. Miffy will go down again. Honestly, Origin need to look ahead. This game's done for them. They just need to reevaluate where did it go wrong. What's the picks, the paths, the plays?
All of it.
Answer, I don't even think they could have played much better. This was definitely a big ban where if you lane swap, we could see an entirely different game. But if you don't get the lane swap, sadly, that's what the meta has devolved to. Suddenly you find yourself in a nearly impossible situation.
And I know how much you love team comps that hinge on the ability to find a lane swap, Crepo. It's something that we've talked about a lot. It's
Yeah.
weaknesses you can't simply come into a game with. So big work on the shoulders of Nico, the Pico, as well as Pekka, who we've seen multiple times today. 2 inhibitors broken open in the first minute of Baron buff. And H2K can rinse and repeat. This might be the quickest win of the series yet. It is just...
some keen observing here.
Cement
4 pink
out of
boards,
3
quickest
games.
win.
That's so mean to me.
It's the British way, right? Like, we just insult you, but it means we love you.
Yeah, Crepo's not British.
I'm not British.
Mate,
That's true.
Like, your banter falls
That is
short.
true.
All right.
Little hesitation here, though. They could have opted left to commit to Jankos here. There wasn't a twisted advance here that came out from Origen. Then they accidentally tagged the Baron here. Jankos gets a Q. Yeah, everything just goes wrong here. The idea here is correct, going for force play, but then when it fails, it all comes falling down for Origen.
Didn't help that Origen were already 7,000 gold down when trying to force a desperation play.
Misty goes Rippy.
Easily taken down. Right, as we jump back to live, no kills on the board for Origen. They finally got their first tower, so they deny the perfect.
Alistair was hiding with Cassidy in the back, so they're going for a pincer move here. Left side of your screen, Alistair and Cassidy are flanking.
But the separated, like H2K is like, hello,
I was trying to build
how's
a high
it going?
man. They're dead.
I guess we'll just kill your 2 guys who are trying to flank us. And Miffy, he preemptively pops the ultimate, but he's quite dead.
I like it. It was creative. It failed miserably, but at least they tried.
They tried. Points for effort.
Yeah, get a gold star and a participation award.
Yeah,
Third game of the series.
yeah, because in the run to Worlds, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose.
It's how you perform in playoffs.
It actually matters.
Yeah,
if you
I was
win or
going to
lose.
say, I bet it does. H2K with a final dive. This time round, it's near flawless. They find themselves 2 quick kills onto Amazing, as well as Power of Evil. Turn their attention to Sowiz, and he will fall. It is a double kill for Forgiven. The base is broken open, and Sven can do nothing but watch his team fall around him, even struggling to deal with the super minions in the base. H2K pick up a dominant victory and are 1 Nexus away from another shot at the title.
Yeah, that was 1 tower away from being a perfect game overall. Tier 1 in mid dropped on the side of H2K, but other than that, 12-0. 2 dragons to 0. Complete mastery and control of the map. And honestly, yeah, 3 pushing lanes with an aggressive dueling jungler. Jankos did it well, though. He found the right place, the right time. First, he gets PoEs, teleport down, check mark, done. Then he shadows bot lane, so we make sure that the Echo matchup wins against the Maokai as expected. Forgiven and Vander had good vision. Pink Ward and Scuttle Crab with an aggressive TP ward. Mithy and Amazing couldn't really force anything on that top lane. Suddenly, there were no right answers other than a double TP force play, but those TPs were being just taking off the mark from Jankos. 1 TP down, 2 TP down.